Hey everyone, this is Rachel Ann tonight. I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to talk a little bit about creating a blog rather than becoming a journalist. And one of the reasons I have listed is that I would go with the idea of creating a blog rather than become a journalist is that you are your own editor in chief. You can edit your assignments how the way you want it. You can word it however you want it. You don't have a particular set of instructions on how it's worded because if you mess up in the journalism industry, you get canned. You get a warning and then canned if you don't do it the second time round. And sorry, my camera's a little shaky. I know I'm a little nervous talking on YouTube and all, but it's my second video, but I'm a little tired, like I said. But the second reason is that you can create whatever content you're free to do. Whereas in the journalism industry, you have been told you got to write this story. If you don't, you got to write it by a certain time. If you don't, then you're cut out. Whereas when you're blogging, you can do it on your own time. You can do it as a hobby. You can do it as a freelancer. You have a lot more options than a journalist actually does. And still suggesting, be careful with what you post because that can reflect on what others would think of you and it would not turn out positive. And meanwhile, I have another one I'm going to my blog to say, oh, yeah, you can create a story. You can post your own photos. You can be your own photographer. You can be your own art designer. You can explore other creative options out there. Whereas in the journalism industry, once you are able to you have to go from one point to another. You have to start off slow and then you have to work your way up. That goes with blogging too, but once you find your niche, then you can go from there. Once you find something that you're comfortable writing and always love to write about, you can move on up. However, with blogging, you can go from one blog post and then write about something different completely. And then the other one that I have is you like I said, you can add photos to it. Um, you can talk about your new skills that you've acquired at a trade school or a community college, or perhaps if you were on the newspaper staff in high school or something like that, and what you've learned. Because I was on the yearbook staff in high school, I was on the newspaper staff in college, so I got to learn a little bit of difference of have a little bit of both worlds about the difference in writing, the formats, the kickers and the captions. And you can see that there's creative writing in the yearbook industry, and then there's uh, very strict, straight to the point questions about who, what, where, why, and how, and stuff like that. With newspaper writing, you got to get to the point. And then on top of that, I was going to say the last thing I have on my mind is that the journalism industry is very brutal. It is very brutal, and if you don't do something right the first time, you could probably get demoted or canned from it. And it's better that you start off with blogging and then build up your portfolio on top of that. I didn't add that to my blogging tip, but you can, as a blogging, you can add it to your resume. You can also add it, I can't even think of what I was going to say. I'm so sorry. My brain is tired tonight, y'all. That's all I got for right now. I'm pretty much, you can add it to your portfolio, and when you get up there and get your writing skills acquired, and your writing styles will change throughout time. I go back and sometimes rewrite blog posts that I wrote in the past, and I change my style. I changed my style up a little bit more, and you can see a whole big difference of how I used to write at the beginning of my college years compared to now. And sometimes I can get a little complacent on that, so I have to come up with I have to look up the dictionary vocabulary terms to expand upon my vocabulary. And with journalism writing, you have to be simplistic. You want to make your audience understand what you're trying to tell them. All right, y'all. Well, I'm a little fidgety tonight because I'm tired again. Get ready to go to bed. Got a little baby in here just resting while the fireworks are going off. And I just want to say happy 4th of July to all. Thank y'all so much for listening and tuning in. If y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to add a comment in there and I'll get back to you. Thank y'all. Have a good night. Bye bye.